How's it going? Jason here. Welcome back to the channel. This is a short tutorial for how you can get basic AI functionality into your Bubble app. So for this, I'm going to use the same artist song management tool that I've been using for all my tutorials. I've got an artist list here and I want to populate the bio for the artist using AI. So to do this, you'll need a couple of things. First, you'll need to have Bubble's API connector installed. And second, you will need to go to platform.openai.com, create an account, create a project, and then create a project API key. And it's going to give you this secret key here. So for this, I'm going to use the simple chat completion API because it is very, very simple. And all I really want to do is send it something and have it send back one response. I don't want threaded conversations. I don't want user uploads, none of that stuff. I basically want to use this as a helper because I can make this reusable pretty much everywhere in the app if you just want AI to do one thing. And chat completion is very, very simple. Up in the top right here, you can choose which model you want to use. I'm going to use Turbo. I want to set this to CURL and I want to click on copy because when you do this, you can import this into Bubble directly. You can simply click on this import another call from CURL. You can paste in, click import, and most of the work is done for you there. So I have already created this off camera just to save a bit of time. So I've got my API here. I'm just calling it Get Artist Bio. You want to make sure you use action and not data. If you use action, you'll be able to call this from workflow. If you use data, you won't see it when you add a workflow option. You'll only see it when you want to populate data in a repeating group or something by getting data from an API. Now, all the rest of this stuff has been created automatically. You want your authorization to be private. Content type doesn't have to be private. And then inside of the body here, I just modified what OpenAI generated when I pasted in that value from the importing the call from CURL. So basically, I just set the role to be system, and I said I want you to make a bio for a band I'm going to give you. If you don't know, just reply with the word error. And then here's the simple prompt that's going to be sent. And because I want this to happen dynamically, I've used this syntax here, which it tells you up at the top, for how to pass in a variable. So now I can just reinitialize this call and let's see what it generates. Okay, so here's the response. It sends me back a bunch of data, sends me back all the headers. The one I really care about is message content. So this is the one that I'm going to use for the bio. So click on save and I'm going to go back to my design here. I've got a button here for getting the bio and I'm going to call this. It's going to ask me what's the artist name. Get rid of that and I want to replace that with the pop-up value and the artist and the artist name. So this will dynamically pass it in, and now when this comes back from OpenAI, I want to make changes to a thing, and the thing I want to change is the artist, and the field I want to change is the bio. So I want to use the result from step 1. I want the body's choices, and then I want the message content. Now there's only going to be one in here, so when I put each, it's going to generate just that one message. So I only want to update the bio when it doesn't send back the word error. So I want that, choices, message content does not contain the word error. And I'm using does not contain because sometimes the chat completions API will send back error with a capital E. Sometimes it'll put a period at the end. You can deal with that in a different way, but just for the purposes of this one, if it doesn't contain the word error, then update that field. And what I could do is I could send an email to whatever when the result actually has the word error in it. So you could do that, or you could write it to a log file. Doesn't matter. And that should be it. So now let's go over to the application and let's give this a try. Let me refresh this, go to artists, click on AC/DC, click on get bio. And obviously you could do some cool things, like you could put a spinner on the page or do something that says it's loading. You could see the status bar here is loading, and now boom, here is your artist bio. So let's try this with my old band. I'm going to click on Get Bio here, and it's probably going to come back with nothing. You could see the status bar went right away. So it obviously sent back the word error, but it didn't do anything. So I could go back into here and I could do something interesting, like adding a text value on the page here. Actually, I won't do that. I'm going to use a custom state for this. And I'm going to say error. I'm going to set this to a yes or no value. And then in this little bio field here, when the pop-up artist error is yes, say sorry, no one has ever heard, or let's do this better. So ChatGPT didn't find anything. And let's just set the font color to red to make it bluntly obvious. And then now I'm going to go back into the workflow and I'm going to say set the state of an element. I want the pop-up error to be set to yes only when, and I can copy this workflow and basically just flip it to the opposite where it contains the word error. So now if I go back here, click on artist, try this one again, get bio, didn't find anything. So that's a very, very simple way you can get basic AI functionality. I use this on a lot of my sites for surveys. So on some of my work sites, I have one question user surveys about a particular topic, and I want to capture the sentiment. So I construct the prompt to say, here's the context of a survey. This is what I want you to do. I want you to analyze the sentiment, and I want you to send back if someone strongly agrees, say strongly agree. If they strongly disagree, say strongly disagree, and only send back just that one word. So it sends it back to my Bubble app. I normalize it. I get rid of any punctuation, get rid of any case or anything like that, because sometimes it will send back things in different case, or it'll put a period at the end, and then it updates my records automatically. So you can think of this as kind of a useful little assistant where you want to do very, very simple things, and you just want to be able to send something to ChatGPT and analyze it. So another thing that I do for this is on an event management site where people will put feedback about the event in particular. So what I'll do is I'll just batch up all of those comments and I'll send that to the Chat Completions API, and I say, I ran an event, here's the details. I want you to reply with a summary about what people liked about this and what they didn't like. And then it will just send that back in bullet points, and I can stuff that into Bubble automatically. So hope this was useful. Make sure to hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.